and then turn it on to the YouTube. And just for shits and giggles, I'm gonna start streaming this on my personal Facebook page. All right, so now I can close this window and I can reopen my, I don't know what it's called, studio broadcasting, editing, whatever, software program, the thing on the computer device. And then I'm gonna go ahead and get things started. You'll see that I went to workouts here on Zwift. I picked my Training Peaks custom workouts, selected the Basecamp Active Recovery or Walk workout, click on workout, pick a world. It wants me to be in, do we want to do the cobbled climbs? I guess that's really all I got, huh? So, for those of you, here, let me go back here. So, these things here, the little green check marks, are routes that I have already ridden in the last 2.5 years or whatever since using Zwift. And one of my goals for this winter is to ride a bunch of routes that I have not yet ridden. And yes, I do get that that is improper use of my English. And so now I'm gonna climb up here on my rusty trusty bicycle. Alrighty. Hey, how's it going? I will tell you that it's really cold in my pain cave today. So my pain is a little different than what I typically experience because of the fact that, well, that it's a little cold. And so I'm just going to really quickly go here and I'm going to look on my Facebook if I know how. I don't know if you can see that. It's pretty small to begin with. And I go, no, I don't go there. I go here, American Mammal. Give it a second to load. Go up, go up, go up. Come on, come on, come on. Come on. Come on. And it looks like I am indeed live on the Facebook. So, I can delete that, delete that, delete that, delete that. I'm going to go to, what kind of music do I have? Oh, you know what? I'm going to go to my Pandora today. I'm going to put my faith. L-M-N-O-P, where the heck? There it goes. Why do they keep changing the Pandora icon on my phone? All right, I think that should be good, I think. So today, let me switch my view here so that you can not look down on me, although you'd be right to do so. Hi. I'm going to take my glasses off so I don't look quite as much like a dork. I think this camera angle needs to be adjusted slightly. So, got a question for you as I start riding here. This is literally an easy ride. I got 5 minutes of just flat warm-up. And then I have 35 minutes at 110 watts. And then a 5-minute cool down. So I'm not going to be going fast. I'm not going to be going far. I'm only allowed to do what's on my training plan because if I ride too long or too hard or whatever, especially on my recovery day, which is Fridays usually. Then I'm not trusting the plan, and therefore there's, problems with that. So, nonetheless, I am in my freezing cold pain cave, and so my pain is the opposite of what it normally is. And since I do not expect to be working all that hard at 110 watts today, I'm not really going to get all that hot. So I'm probably going to be complaining more about the cold than I am anything else. For those of you who do not know, I'm Dave, and I am the American mammal. That's right, the middle-aged man clad in Lycra. Because I want everyone to see how fit and awesome my 52-year-old belly looks. But seriously, I am in the midst of my winter training program, which is a company, a service, a product of a coaching group. Actually, the company is called Velocious, but their winter training program is called Basecamp. And you can go to joinbasecamp.com and learn all about it. It's too late to sign up for it this winter because, well, we're already in the second of 4 segments, or cycles, whatever you want to call it, of the winter program. And therefore, well, if you're not already involved, you can't be. However, Basecamp does offer every Tuesday and Thursday. They have group rides right here on Zwift. And they're at 10 o'clock in the morning and 5:45 p.m. every Tuesday and Thursday. And all you got to do is log into your Zwift account, go up into the group ride section up in the top right-hand corner of that login screen, or the the first screen that pops up after you log in. Find the Basecamp group ride and load it. It is a true group ride, so everybody is corralled into a group so they don't drop anybody. And they load literally the same workout that I have in my Training Peaks account for Tuesdays and Thursdays. They have loaded into their system, and so you get to do the same workout that everyone who pays for Basecamp does, but for you it's free. The only thing that differs really in our Basecamp program from one person to the next, well, a couple things, but the biggest thing that changes is it's all based on my own personal FTP. And so the Tuesday and Thursday rides will look at what your FTP is set at, and we'll give you the workout based on, well, your strength and fitness level versus mine or anybody else's. And the other thing that differs with everybody's training plans is the amount of time that they are training. And so some people may only have, an hour a day to train. Other people may have 2 or even 4 hours a day to train. And so the training plan will basically be the same, but it's adjusted for everybody's strength or their FTP, and it's adjusted for how long you have to train on a daily/weekly basis. And therefore, it gives you, the people who have more time, it gives them more of the same workout versus the people who have less time. So, I would encourage you to go on to Zwift every Tuesday and Thursday, sign up for one of the 2 or both of the Basecamp group rides, and join us for free. I generally do the 10 a.m. just because it fits better into my schedule, but once in a while, like last night, I had to log in and do the 5:45 p.m. Eastern Time ride. And today, I am doing the, what do you call it? The Zwift ride with, or my workout which is just my active recovery day. And so if anybody wants to ride with me on Fridays, let me know. Send me a message or put a comment in whichever system you're using to watch this video. And I'll create a group ride, you know, just for American mammal folk. And we can ride together. You can join me in my Recovery Ride Friday workouts. Again, generally right around 10 a.m., even though I started a little bit early today. So I did change, if you watched the video from yesterday, I changed the overhead camera angle, not the placement of it. Let me go back to it here. So, not the placement of the camera. Oh, yeah, that really sucks. So pretty much, I guess I made a mistake. You can see me when I'm literally like low in the drops, and today I won't be. But it cuts my head off even when I'm just on the handlebars. But I'm trying to get it so that you can see the Zwift Companion app better, or really be able to see it. And yeah, that camera angle doesn't really work, does it? So let me go back to camera number 1. And camera number 3 is currently out of service. I've been having problems with it, well, literally since I got it. And this one's cutting off the top of my head too. I moved camera number 1 forward a little bit, closer to the bike. And I guess I need to adjust the angle slightly so that you can see me. All these problems, issues that I'm having to deal with here. But I'm willing to do it because I'm doing it for you. So I started this vlog really for 2 similar purposes. Number 1, the most important reason I started the American Mammal vlog is because by having a daily vlog that I'm expected to be at because of the literally ones of people that are watching every day, it helps me to stay motivated, to stay focused on following my training plan and getting the workouts done every day. Where today is a great example, a 45-minute total ride, including my warm-up and cool-down, and the ride is only 110 watts. Or I had the option of walking. Well, I walk for more than 45 minutes during the course of a day, so I could easily, not that I ever have, but I could easily just skip today's workout and say, yeah, I did it, because I will walk for 45 minutes throughout the course of the day. But we all know that it's better to actually be on the bike riding for your active recovery than not. So even on a summer day when I'm outside, or if I'm down in Florida on a Friday or on a recovery day, I look at the process, especially if it's only 45 minutes, to get all kitted up. By the way, do you like my nice Karoo kit today? To spend the time to get kitted up, to don your socks and your cycling shoes, to put your helmet on, to get your bike out of the garage, make sure everything's all set on it, to climb aboard and go out and ride 110 watts, which you can see right here is 15 miles an hour. It seems like a lot of effort for no real purpose. I know there's a purpose. Don't sit there and start yelling at me, oh, there's a purpose in your training plan. I know there's a purpose for active recovery days. But it's really difficult to justify in my head waking up, or not waking up, but getting up, getting all kitted out, and getting on my bike for 45 minutes of this. But if I am here because I know that you're here, I'm more apt to do it. So that is the number one reason, the largest reason, the most important reason for me for creating this vlog. But the second reason is you. That's right, you. I want to give people the opportunity to, number one, to see what my workout wilds are, to see what maybe indoor cycling or Zwifting or bee-cooling or trainer roading or full gassing. Hey, listen to that, full gassing. Is to see what the difference in these different applications are, but more to see what, you know, a training plan, a workout, a pain cave workout really is. Number one, let you watch me and hear all of the valuable jewels of information that come spewing out of my mouth while I'm riding. But most importantly, that maybe it'll encourage you to dust off your trainer, hop on your bike and come and ride with me. Get a little bit of a workout, at least get your heart pumping a tiny bit on a day like today at 4 miles an hour. And come ride with me. Because, as you know, just like in the real world, IRL, in real life, it's always more enjoyable to ride with friends around than it is to just be freaking beating yourself over your head riding alone. So, if you come out and ride with me, it's more enjoyable, it's more fun, it's better for me, and at the same time, it's better for you. So, the second reason for having the vlog is the same as the first reason, which is to help me stay focused and encouraged and motivated to actually do my rides each and every day. Okay, so I'm going at 4 miles an hour coming into this climb. And it's, if you've ever ridden the Richmond UCI Worlds course, this climb is pretty steep. Right now we're at 14%, down to 10, down to 7%. But every time you turn a corner, it gets really, really, really steep. Right now 11, 10%. And on Zwift, if you're only riding at 110 watts like now, you're going really, really slow. And watch what happens when I come to the next sharp right-hand turn up here, which is fortunately right before the finish, I believe. But my avatar, the bike, will practically come to a stop. Yeah, this corner up here, because you literally go from, right now it says I'm riding a 7% grade, and then when you come around this corner, see how that guy right up there stopped? He's still pedaling, but he stopped. 7 to 11, 15%, 17%. Hey, I pedaled through it pretty well, but you certainly slow way down. Look at this, look at this. Almost dead stop, 2 miles an hour. I'm almost not moving right here. So, I don't know where I was at before I started talking about that. You like this nice Basecamp water bottle? Look at that. It says Basecamp on it. It's a little hard to get the lid on. It doesn't look like it fits, but it does. You just have to trust that it's not going to leak. It's a giant water bottle. So, the good news about this active recovery ride is that I'm not being told to limit how fast or slow that I spin for these 45 minutes. And so, I'm allowed to spin up to in the, well, right now I'm in like the 90s, which I am definitely more of a spinner than I am a grinder. I think I started transitioning to faster, higher cadence pedaling, more spinning than I do grinding. When I started tracking my steps with my very first Fitbit way back in the Gen 1 days. And I realized that the faster I pedal, the more steps I get during any given ride. And that if I go out for a 1 or a 2 or a 3 hour ride, I might as well accumulate more than my 10,000 steps a day. Well, if you pedal at 100 RPM versus 50 RPM, you're going the same speed. You're generally putting out the same amount of total effort, but you're getting twice as many steps during that time frame. So, why not, right? And I think just because of that, I generally started spinning at a higher cadence. And it's just stuck with me. I have, when you're spinning versus grinding, you're relying more heavily on your cardiovascular system and your fast twitch fibers in your muscles. And when you're grinding, you're relying more on your muscular power, those slow twitch fibers in those muscles, which utilize more oxygen in the blood. It produces more CO2 and more lactate. But ultimately doesn't really get your heart rate up as fast as quickly. And the perceived effort when you're grinding is less because you're pedaling slower. And so the physical manifestation of that, or the mental manifestation of the physical effort, is that you're working less hard. But in reality, you're actually creating more demand on your body, and it takes longer for you to recover from heavy grinding days, which, by the way, is what our workouts all were this week. We were focusing on lower cadence, not necessarily higher power, just lower cadence efforts. And since a watt is literally a calculation of how fast you're spinning times how hard you're pushing on the pedals, the slower you spin, the harder you have to push to achieve the same watts. And so, by spinning slower, we were having higher physical demand on our muscles. And in both workouts on Tuesday and Thursday, not so much on Wednesday, but a little bit. But we were being instructed, we were being educated, we were being told to focus on our glutes, which I realize the camera angle is a little too high, so you can't see me tapping my glutes. But we were trying to engage our glutes more than our quads, because our glutes are our largest muscle group in our body, our most powerful muscle group in our body, I should say. And it takes there's less of an energy toll on engaging your glutes because it's a larger muscle mass than, or a more powerful muscle mass. I don't remember what. And so the more you can use your glutes, the better you are. The longer you can last. The harder you can push for longer. But the problem is that it's actually not as easy as one would think to engage your gluteus maximus and your gluteus minimus and your, I don't know, whatever the other gluteus muscles are. But it's tough to engage your butt and to get it firing as being the predominant muscle group powering your pedal stroke. One of the tricks they told us is to kind of scooch back in your saddle, which if you think about it, at least I do, when I'm climbing and I'm really struggling, I notice that I really push back further in my saddle. I notice that my butt is literally hanging off of the back end of my saddle. But then the second thing that they told us to do was literally, since we're on our trainers and we don't have to worry about balance or steering or anything else, to hit or punch your glutes as you're pedaling. As you want them to engage, you literally hit them. So you slap that ass. And the combination of those things is supposed to help you to engage it. I found that it works for about a minute or two. Maybe it's because I'm talking to you on this video while I'm doing it, instead of sitting there closing my eyes and thinking, butt. Maybe if I was actually on the road and I was with a group of people and I had somebody's ass right in front of me, it'd be easier to think, oh yeah, use your butt. But I just can't do that. Here at my pain cave, certainly I can't do that because there's no room for a second bike or a second person. But our goal this week specifically was to learn how to start engaging our glutes, so that ultimately over these next couple of weeks, as we're focusing on increased pressure on the pedals, that we can start to get our bodies used to firing our glutes primarily instead of our quads primarily, because your glutes will last longer, they're more powerful, and so if you can rely on those as your primary and then not have to rely as much on your quads, and then you can transition to your quads when your glutes are cooked, where you can't really do it the other way around. Once your quads are cooked, you're cooked. So if you can use your stronger, your bigger, your longer lasting muscles first, and then rely on your smaller, less agile, but more specific muscles after that, especially when you're on a long ride or you're on a really challenging, climbing course or whatever, or if you're just racing your friends on your weekly group ride. If you're able to utilize your glutes before your quads, you're going to be stronger. You're going to be faster. You're going to be able to leave them in the dust. And let's face it, every time you're out riding with your friends on a group ride, the only thing you really want to do is to beat them. And you know that when they're riding with you and they're just having idle chit chat, what they're really doing is they're assessing your current fitness level. They're trying to say, hey, how fit is Dave? Is he worn out from yesterday or from this past week's training? Did he get enough sleep? Is he pretty tired? How was his nutrition? Is he kind of run down? And what they're really trying to do is they're talking to you about, you know, whatever sporting event or the weather or work or anything, is they're trying to see how quickly is he going to get gassed? What's it going to cost me to get him to burn all of his matches so that I can beat him before the end of this ride? Or that I can beat him on whichever Strava segment we're coming up to. And yeah, we all know that we're all doing the same thing to them. So, by being able to use your glutes, you have the ability to last longer and fool them when they're trying to size you up for the ride, because they think you're only using your quads like you normally do, but now you're using your tush, and so you're going to be able to last longer. But like I said, that's way easier said than did, and therefore it takes practice, it takes focus, and it takes a lot of time, you know, sitting there slapping that ass as you're riding. I don't think it works today because, you know, I'm not really putting down any power, and so I mean, I'm sure once I figure out how to use my glutes, that I'll be able to use them primarily even on easy rides like today. And actually, I think my right one is firing better. I'm sorry, my left one is firing better than my right. I can feel it like at the bottom of my butt right there. But my right one is definitely less activated. Up here, I feel it even at both sides, kind of on the outside, whatever muscle that is. But that's been our focus this week. Lower cadence, increased power, and trying to activate the muscles that we should be using predominantly on those efforts. Today is just an easy day. We only got 17 minutes and 2 seconds left, and which means we're halfway through the ride. And hey, I finished this route, which means that I have now ridden or completed every route in the world of, where am I? Richmond, Virginia. So, yeah. Also, I as I said in the video yesterday, I've really been debating on whether or not I should try riding for a few days or maybe a week without my Ceres MP1 rocker plate to see what it does. It'll screw up all my camera angles. I'll have to readjust everything, even the lighting. But you can see how much my body moves with every pedal stroke on the rocker plate. I don't know, I honestly, here, let me switch over to this other view. I honestly don't know. See all that movement in the bike even? I mean, right now I'm obviously intentionally accelerating that movement, but you see this movement just in every pedal stroke. It definitely takes the pressure off your body, but it does move more than you would out on the road. And so I honestly don't know if it's a positive or a negative. It's kind of a cool effect. And certainly when I'm going down a steep descent, I've noticed that as I'm riding, and I'm riding fast on, like on the Alpe du Zwift, I've noticed that as I'm going down the hills, as I'm going around those turns, I actually lean into them pretty aggressively. I don't know if I did that before. Before I was I have the rocker plate or not, but I know specifically it's as if I'm trying to turn into the way I would on a bike. The only difference is you can't stop and coast when you're going through those turns, which obviously when you're on your road bike, you're doing that so that you don't ground your pedal and freaking injure your knee as I've done in the past. And so you're stopping your pedaling, you're raising that inside pedal off the ground, and you're kind of navigating or using your power to, or your weight and your balance to navigate through that turn. Where on Zwift, or on your trainer in general, when you're going through a turn, you don't really need to do it, but you need to keep pedaling through that. And so, and you can't lean as much, certainly not anywhere close to what you would be at speed around a turn right there. So, it's not necessarily all that realistic or lifelike. And I don't know if there's any benefit to it or not. But I have noticed that I do it. And so, I don't know if I took it out, if I would still try to lean into those turns, and if maybe I'd jack the trainer off the mat and possibly wipe out. I doubt it, but I am thinking about doing it because it bothers me when I look at the camera and I see how much my head is wobbling, because obviously it doesn't look that way when I'm just looking at the screen. But when I see myself on the camera, I'm like, holy crap, I really, and again, I'm exaggerating now, but I mean, look at how much that's moving, right? And the more the effort is, the more I'm moving. So, I'm thinking I probably will, I don't know, lift this up and put it somewhere and see what it's like. Actually, I have a question for anybody who is watching. Right now, you can just see the background as a window and a wall. I'm thinking about maybe putting a green screen up there so that rather than seeing this square of worthless video, if I put a green screen up and I chroma key it, then you'll literally see more of the Zwift screen in the background, and you won't have to worry about me. The other thing is, the other option I have is maybe I could make that screen, make the Zwift screen itself, keep it the same aspect ratio, but make it a little smaller so that I could put my image kind of on the side of the screen, and at the bottom of the screen I could, there's a way, I haven't tried it yet, I haven't figured it out, but I could scroll all of the comments from people. Now again, I don't know if the system will aggregate comments from everywhere I'm streaming. So in other words, if you're on Twitch or on YouTube or on Facebook and you make a comment, will that show up on the feed, or will it only take comments from people that are on my Vimeo feed? So I'll have to look into that. I'll have to see. But I don't know. So if you think that squishing the screen down a little bit and leaving that space for comments so that everybody, like, they'll scroll across the bottom of the screen, everybody can see them, everybody can maybe get more engaged with me and with one another. And then I'm physically off the actual game screen and I'm over to the side. Yeah, maybe that's something I
if you guys think it would be, if you think it would be a good idea, then I'll do it. But if you say, nah, dude, that's freaking stupid, it's really cool the way it is, or just put the green screen behind you, and then we can just see you riding on the screen with you as you're riding. Hey, V. Kelly just gave me a ride on. So I have 9 minutes and 12, 11, 10 seconds to go. I actually have warmed up a bit. Got a little dabble of sweat right there. And in my eye, if you watched the video, the workout yesterday, you saw that I was talking about how using these towels when I'm on my trainer, because I don't know, I get more sweat in my face. And I don't know what the reason for that is. I've got 2 fans, plus a third fan that's circulating air in and out of the room. But 2 fans that are blowing directly on me that are set, the speed is set based on the pace that I'm riding. So if I'm riding 22 miles an hour, they should be blowing wind at 22 miles an hour. In theory it works, not necessarily in practice, but so it should be that as fast as I'm riding in the real world, just like I'm outside, I'm getting that same equivalent of air blowing through my face and my body when I'm here with these Wahoo kicker fans. But I seem to get way more sweat when I'm here in the pain cave, or at least more in my eyes than I do. I don't think it has anything to do with the fact that when I'm riding, I generally have sunglasses on, or some kind of glasses with readers in the bottom so that I can see my bike computer. But you would think that would mean that I have more sweat in my eyes when I am outside than when I'm here and I actually have air hitting my face. I don't know, maybe I should try that. Try putting my my yellow or my clear riding glasses on and see what, if any, effect that has. Because maybe it's the air hitting my eyes, kind of drying my eyes out and making them water. Versus, I don't know. I don't know that I have that problem though when I take my glasses off and I'm riding, like on a rainy day. It's raining. Yeah, I don't know. If you have any insights into why I need to use more towel when I'm inside to dry off my eyes than when I'm outside, you know, a couple times just on the sleeve is enough when I'm outside. Because when I use the towel as much as I do when I'm inside, I actually get scabs underneath my eyes and right here between my eyes. At first I thought it was like a chemical reaction to the soap or the dye in the towels or something. But then I came to realize that it has nothing to do with what towel I use or what detergent I use or anything else. It's literally just because it's a pretty rough surface, these towels are. And they're meant to use, you know, briefly and softly while you're getting out of the shower. Not continuously wiping crap out of your eyes. And so my skin's just not used to it. It's not tough enough there. And I pay the price. Whew. So I've got 5 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Can I make, look at how much I slow down at that corner. 17% incline there briefly. Will I make it up this cobble climb in the next oh, wait. I'm actually almost done with the workout and I'm going into my cool down. So will I make it up the cobble during my 5-minute cool down, or will my workout end before I get to the top? If you know me, you know I'm not gonna end my ride at 9 point something miles in a 45-minute ride. I'm gonna at least get to 10 miles. I can round up my miles and not get yelled at by my coach. If I go too long or too hard, especially on a recovery day, I will get in trouble. But if I still keep in the theme of the day, which is short, no effort ride, I generally can round out my mileage, maybe add a mile or 2 or 3 at the end of a ride, and be told that that's all right. Look at that, almost coming to a stop as I'm pedaling. Oof. Man, look at that. I think I did stop there. I don't know if that's because I'm always all the way on the inside, or just because I'm only pedaling at 100 watts. And the funny thing is, if I'm steering across the hill, you know that trick? If you're not strong enough to climb that steep section of the climb, you can, weave back and forth like this. I have done that a couple times when I'm in Florida and I am riding in Claremont as I'm going up Sugarloaf, whether it's because I've done hill repeats or you literally just keep cycling around. You ride up the front, ride down the back, around and back. Or it just happens to be at the end of, or like during Horrible 100, where you're 78% done with the ride or whatever it is, almost 80% done, and then you hit that climb. And you've had intermediate climbs up to that point, and if you're riding with the Muppets, they're kind of hammering the whole freaking day. So you get to Sugarloaf, and you got this, it's long for Florida, but it's pretty steep, and you got this climb that seemingly never freaking ends as you're going up. It's literally like 3/10 of a mile or 4/10 of a mile, maybe a half, but it's no more than that. I think it's 3/10. But there are times where I have gotten there and you try to hit it hard, and I've tried all of the different methods. I've gone in a really high gear and literally waited until I needed to start downshifting. Which, if you're going from your big chain ring or from your big chain ring to your little, and you're only pedaling at a 50 cadence and you're literally struggling to stay upright, so you're going 2 or 3 miles an hour, it's too late at that point, because your chain's going to slip. And yeah. So I've tried that method. I've tried the change early and never get to a point where you're struggling. Well, that climb is too steep and too long for that to happen. And so you end up in both situations out of breath and out of power and out of options, because you're out of gears. 3/4 or 4/5 of the way up the climb, and you can see the end. It's like right there. Like there's that one farm with the signpost over here, the sign, whatever it's called. You're always stressed by the time you get there, so it has words on it, and I know I've read it, but it never engages. But then across the street over here, you go by like a telephone pole, and there's like a field with a barn, and I think some horses or something in the field. And you can see that the top is right there. It's not very far, but that's like the steep section of the climb, right? And you're out of options, you're out of gears, you're out of gas, and you're just, and so you literally just have to power through, and you're grinding, you're struggling so hard to just make it through. Wow, look at that already, immediately. So I've only burned 0.9 slices of pizza. So I gotta go a little further and at least get to a full slice of pie. I'm literally in my easiest gears. I'm pedaling up here. And I don't know how many watts I'm putting out, but I gotta stand up to pedal. And you can see I'm pedaling pretty slow. 209, 210. I'm literally out of gear. So just like I was talking about, out of gears. I just wanted to beat that fucker who was trying to out-sprint me and gave up. I don't like people who give up. So I don't know how long it's going to take to get that 1/10 of a slice of pie. But it's downhill right here. So I might as well enjoy it, right? More effort than I thought. Not really, I mean, I'm only in the blue section at the bottom of the screen. But that little climb where all of a sudden I was out of erg mode and now I'm just free riding. Alright, I might as well get to 11 and then I'll stop. That'll certainly be over one slice. I do gotta dial back. I'm gonna get yelled at for being outside of my recovery zone. And then I'm going uphill again. So yeah, my name is Dave. I am the American Mammal. I'm just getting this channel up and running. So any comments or criticisms that you have, I'd be happy to listen. Because you know more about what you like to see, and probably know more about broadcasting if you're watching this than I do. So, toss me some comments or your thoughts. And let me know how I can improve it. Because ultimately, I'm doing this for me. So any suggestions you have will help me. Make me a stronger cyclist. Make me a better mammal. And a better vlogger. Because in reality, in everything we're doing, we're constantly trying to be better, right? Whew. I don't remember where this climb ends. I think it's pretty soon though. It's getting easier. I don't want to spend too much energy because I know tomorrow's workout, I haven't looked at it, but I know it's going to be a longer day in the saddle, and it's probably going to incorporate what we worked on this week. So, lots of high cadence, low cadence, high power pedaling. All right, so we turn the corner to the left over here, and then the climb ends. You never want to stop on a climb, right? one of the first things I learned about cycling. Never stop on a climb. And then you see those people that do stop on a climb, and they pay the price because they can't get started again. They stop because they're gassed. And rather than toughen it out and stop up at the top, they stop in the climb to catch their breath or tie their shoe or whatever excuse they have, and they can't get back on because they just don't have the strength to get started again. Because you got to start pedaling, but you got to keep pedaling, and you got to clip in, but it takes a couple revolutions, and you're unstable while you're doing it, and you're not moving very fast. So, yeah. Oof, now I'm sweating. I'm going to go to 11.5 since I'm already here. But I promise to stay in the gray now, I think. Looks like we got 200 meters to the finish. I could do a 200-meter sprint here, but no, I'm going to stay good. Here we go, we're coming into the finish. We're finishing strong. Look at this, I'm bumping shoulders with this guy. I got in front of him. Oh, that guy got past me. Give me another plus. I'd rather have more points than some power up. No. All right, 11.5 miles. For some reason, I'm pedaling to the outside. Come on, take me to the inside. Come on. Yeah, I'll stop over here on the curb instead of like those people in the middle of the road. And that is my Friday easy ride with a little bit of effort that I'm probably going to get yelled at for. Well. So let me walk over to the other computer and exit the game so that we can take a look at my stats here. So I'll click on menu. Yeah, nothing impressive. But then let's see if I got up to one slice of pie, 1.2 slices of pie, 336 calories, 52 minutes, 11.6 miles. So I will go ahead and save it. And yeah, thanks a lot for joining me. Tomorrow, about 10 a.m. on all of these channels, we will be here. We'll be streaming, and it'll be a true suffer fest on Saturdays. So come